G'day everyone, Wesley here from the Mental Awareness Foundation, and this is my new program called Under the Radar, where I'm interviewing people that are doing great work, that are flying under the radar. And here's Troy. Troy's from Streamline Meditation, and I'm actually fortunate enough to be doing Streamline's Meditations workshop as we speak on this beautiful Sunday. Mate, firstly, thanks for having me with the meditation workshop. I truly appreciate it. The reason why I actually wanted to bring you on video was actually, and we've met each other a couple of times, was I actually just wanted to talk about your story, about how or where you've come from. So I guess, you and I know your story, but just sharing with our people what you were involved in first, and then I guess some of the triggers that have sort of brought you into Streamline.
Okay.
So,
yep. Mate, basically, construction's my background. Specifically, was in civil pipe work. So I had 20 years in a management role in civil construction, and then I went on to own my own company, and I ran that company for 8 years. And throughout that time, especially in the first 12 to 18 months, I didn't handle my stress well at all. So I had to come up with a good way of managing stress. I put myself into hospital twice with having meningitis and a blood infection, as well as glandular fever. So I figured I needed a good way to manage stress, and I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to meet Malcolm and move into learning Streamline meditation, and found the benefits highly beneficial, and decided that I would move into being trained up to be able to teach people the benefits and teach them the philosophies and all the background of meditation. And I've moved on to now being a coach and an executive coach in meditation.
yeah. And I guess just getting back to that construction industry, sadly the interesting thing within the construction industry is that suicide's actually 6 times higher within the construction industry. What was your when you were in the construction industry? Obviously, you've seen the stress. What were you, just as an observation, why do you think sort of that construction industry has those stresses or has those increased rates in suicide or whatnot? What do you think might be some of the issues there?
Well, I think the greatest issue is construction industry breeds a certain character.
Yep.
Men are men. We don't sort of delve into our feelings or how we're feeling, and we certainly don't communicate it well.
Mm-hmm.
So the stresses and tensions of daily life, they're across the board. It doesn't matter which industry you're in,
mm-hmm.
they're all the same. We're all out there tackling life and experiencing the same sort of stress and tension. Construction industry just has that man's man mentality, and we won't talk about it, we're okay. When deep down we're probably struggling with something that could quite easily be fixed through a conversation and a new and positive way of looking at the situation, rather than worrying about something that isn't always worth worrying about. My experience was, once I learned meditation and I could look back at where I was, I truly had nothing to worry about. I was creating the stressful environment for myself. It wasn't an external thing creating it. It was me internally that brought that stress on myself.
And that's why, guys, I wanted to actually share Troy's story about, I guess, his past occupation. And I guess at the end of the day, Troy, he's just a normal guy like you, like me, like the cameraman here. But there was a change that occurred, and I guess with mental health, there's never ever a silver bullet. It's not like it's just meditation and then all of a sudden your life changes. But what I think Troy has done is obviously acknowledge that a change needed to occur, and perhaps that stress that you were experiencing, even though it was tough, was actually a benefit because it made you change some things about your life. And this is where Streamline meditation has come. I guess, mate, obviously at some point you've made a change. In those initial stages, what was it that meditation did for you? What did it do for you that sort of gave you some control?
Well, pretty rapidly, especially with Streamline being a direct experience, the deep rest that I received allows a lot of stress to be thrown off the nervous system. So this is deep accumulated stress. And through that being thrown off was within 3 weeks. Situations like someone cuts you off in traffic, you get angry.
Yeah.
You want to have a bit to say to them, and in some instances, and it still happens today, people run them off the road and belt the crap out of them. My experience was within 3 weeks and having that stress released off the nervous system was if somebody cut me off, the first initial response was that didn't bother me. And it was surprising to myself that it didn't bother me, where normally I'd be giving them a piece of my mind. So through giving yourself deep rest and throwing off accumulated stress, it doesn't change who you are, but what it does is it stops you reacting to a situation that's just not worth reacting to.
Yeah, it's an interesting example. I had someone cut me off recently, just actually up at Deception Bay for all those local Brisbane people, and it just didn't concern me that much, and I'd probably actually put it down to, I guess, somewhat my practice of meditation, mindfulness, yoga. So I guess a few things, but I definitely didn't have that tension. I'm actually, as I mentioned before, currently doing the workshop here at Streamline Meditation, and we've just sort of broken for our first session, and we've done a 5-minute, 10-minute meditation. And I must say, so far these guys are just giving me those skills to actually focus on that stillness. And then, there's no rules of right and wrongs of what meditation, should and shouldn't be. But I must say the skills that you guys are giving me so far just in this short session are awesome. So if you're watching this video, thank you. Streamline Meditation, you can look them up online. I strongly recommend getting using these guys to possibly change your lives. Mate, thank you.
Thank you.
And otherwise, check us out. Remember, our walk's coming up the 9th of October 2016. We'll see you there. Thank you for watching.